All right. So just let's start with a little background on you. Just briefly describe how you make money in real estate and for how long you have been doing it.
Okay, so I've been actively investing in single family, long term buy and hold real estate since, 4.5 years ago. What's that? Maybe 2018, 2019 timeframe. We primarily buy in the Midwest, so Tennessee, Missouri, right now. We may look to invest in other areas, but right now that's our Kansas City, St. Louis, and Memphis specifically. And again, we do a long-term buy and hold model. So we're not fixing and flipping. We're not short-term renting like Airbnbs. We are very focused and specific in how we're doing what we're doing.
All right. And what did you have in place as far as asset protection before you engaged with Royal Legal? And what were you trying to accomplish, or what problems were you trying to solve?
Sure. So prior to working with Royal Legal, we were loosely implementing. Maybe we weren't even implementing, but our our the model that we planned on implementing was the traditional hub and spoke model with the passive holding company and then state specific LLCs to hold title to specific properties. But because I live in California and because the Franchise Tax Board reserves the right to charge $800 a year per LLC, I decided I didn't, and as well, some of the reporting requirements and the ongoing state filing fees and just the administration of that model, I found to be what was going to be expensive and administratively challenging. I'm not administratively gifted. So I didn't want to deal with all of that work and all of those costs. And I don't remember how I heard originally about it. Might have been somebody from the investing group I'm a part of, but mentioned something about land trusts and as a way, and this person lived in California. And so I spoke to this person and she let me know that she had been working with you and to check it out. So I did. And so ultimately the goal and the problem I'm trying to solve or was trying to solve was the not being able to expand my real estate portfolio without expanding my cost basis ongoing from a California Franchise Tax Board perspective, and also to minimize the complexity and to really make it more efficient from a management and administrative management perspective. So I was attracted to Royal Legal. I looked around as well, a couple other people who knew some things about land trusts and an optional model for California investors, but I settled on Royal Legal just because it just seemed like this was something that you all knew a lot about and made it simple for me. So, and I'm happy I did.
All right, great. And even though you already kind of spoke on this, but what results or new understandings did you achieve after working with us?
Yeah, just an easier model that can scale for asset protection specifically. And then also, by the way, another problem that I had and wanted to solve that I didn't mention previously was, we needed to update our living wills, trusts, etc., for my wife and I and our family, and those were very much outdated, and we needed to have those addressed as well. And so I really did want to work with one entity for all of this, and so Royal Legal offered the best, in my opinion, options.
All right. So where did you first hear about us, and what interested you in Real Eagle?
Yeah, so it was I first heard about Royal Legal from a co and one of my, I guess not really a colleague. I'm part of an investing group. Um, I'm actually an employee of a company now that provides investing education and whatnot for real estate investing. And at the time, was I an employee yet? I started as a paying member of this company and then was hired into the company. And so one of the other members of this investing group, this company, was talking about this on we have weekly mastermind calls, and she was talking about this on one of these mastermind calls. And so it piqued my curiosity because I looked at her as being not so much a mentor, but something that I looked up to. She was very active in the community, had been active for a while. She's smart. She was very giving and outgoing with regard to information and her experience. So I reached out to her, and she told me about her experience with you. I think she actually worked with you specifically, Olia. And I thought, yeah, let's take a look at this. So it was somebody that was in a investing group that I'm a part of.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So then just briefly describe working with us, and what areas did you get the most value, and why do you think that is?
Well, I think I worked primarily with you almost exclusively, frankly. I mean, I spoke to another gentleman getting signed up
Mhm.
and getting those appointments, those early appointments of just initial consultation appointments. But once I decided to move forward, you were my primary point of contact. I still consider you my primary point of contact, although I don't reach out to you as often as I did when we were first getting things set up. But you were able to help me with all of the above. So the living wills, the trusts, as well as the Delaware Statutory Trust and all the land trust options, all of that you were able to help me with. And I know there are some other support members behind you that were also actively involved, and I had some interaction with as well. But you primarily were my primary point of contact, and you were just very available when I needed questions. There was, in fact, one call that I did not record, and I asked to basically redo the call, and you were willing to do so. But we had a review call before any document signings, which I appreciated because, again, I'm not administratively gifted, and I am a strategic high-level thinker and don't like reading the fine detail, the fine print. So those calls with you allowed me to ask questions that I had, and you were just very easy to talk to and very thorough. And we had, gosh, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different document signing calls because we had a number of phases, if you will, of this implementation. So I was able to go back and ask some questions sometimes on one of our calls that we had covered previously, and you were just very easy to work with, very easy to schedule appointments with, and just made it real simple.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
uh, and how likely are you to recommend us?
Oh, very likely. I recommend you guys all the time. I mean, again, I'm part of this investing group. I am now a facilitator of the weekly mastermind calls that we have. And there are many California residents inside our community. And so specifically for California residents, I'm the one who people point to now. Go talk to Scott. He understands the land trust stuff. So I recommend you guys on a pretty consistent basis at this point.